there bakers, it's Ariel, and today I'll be showing you how to make vanilla cupcakes. So today we are going to be making some moist, fluffy, and so rich in flavor vanilla cupcakes, topping it with a chocolate frosting. I am not going to show you how to make the chocolate frosting, but the recipe is going to be on the website. So before we begin, let's go ahead and do our prayer. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for loving us so much that you died for us on the cross. Help us understand that you call us to serve others. Be our guide for all eternity. And you, blessed Mother Mary, help us to hear the voice of your beloved Son, and never leave us. Amen. Okay, so before we get started on the recipe, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so now we can get started on the cupcakes. You will need 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and it should be softened to room temperature. So before we add anything else, let's go ahead and just cream this for a couple of seconds. Okay, so once that's creamed, let's go ahead and add our sugars. You will need a 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, and for extra deep of flavor, let's go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. Now, light brown sugar adds a very nice flavor to vanilla. So that's why we're going to be adding it. And let's go ahead and combine this to just thoroughly combined. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this. It should be creamy and no lumps of butter remaining. Okay, so this looks beautiful. Let's go ahead and add our egg. You will need 1 large egg, and all of your ingredients should be at room temperature. So today we're using basic ingredients, no fancy ingredients needed. It's a very simple recipe. And then you're going to need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So it may not sound a lot, but these are just 12 cupcakes. The vanilla flavor just enhances that beautiful flavor we want of vanilla. Let's go ahead and stir this until combined. No oil needed in this recipe, just butter is perfect for the cupcakes. And I know in some of my recipes, I do a combination of, butter and oil, but we don't need it in this one. So you're going to go ahead and put that aside. We're going to grab a separate mixing bowl. And here you will need 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. Then we are going to be adding a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, like I said, we don't need cake flour. Actually, if you can substitute cake flour, but the cookies are kind of like sink in themselves, and they're going to be like a little dry and dense. So all-purpose flour is the way to go. So after you whisk that, let's go ahead and bring our wet ingredients. And then we're going to grab our buttermilk. You will need a 3/4 cup of buttermilk. I am using real buttermilk. You can use a buttermilk substitute, but like I say, real buttermilk is the best way to make your recipes. Either it's muffins, cupcakes, cakes, whatever you're doing, real buttermilk is going to give you the best results. So we are not going to use our electric mixer anymore. We're going to stick with a spatula because we don't want to overmix these cupcakes. So we are going to start with our flour. I add a little bit. And then we are just going to combine this because we are going to alternate adding our dry ingredients with our buttermilk. So once things are looking a little bit of combined, we are going to add our buttermilk. Just add a bit gradually and then stir that in. Now, over mixing is bad because you get dry, dense cupcakes, but under mixing is also bad. It's kind of like as bad as over mixing because your cupcakes are going to sink in themselves and you just didn't mix as you should have. So that's why we are using a spatula and not an electric hand mixer or stand mixer, because your cupcakes can end up dry, dense, or you can undermix them too. So just be careful. Our buttermilk. I like to do the flour like in 4 parts and the buttermilk in 3 parts, but you do want to start and end with your flour. Now our flour. And your oven should be preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you want to see other cupcake recipes, comment below. I would love to know what are your favorite cupcake recipes. Okay, so we have a nice, smooth, beautiful batter here. I am going to get my cupcake tin. Okay, so once I get my cupcake tin, I'm just going to fill these with some paper liners. And I'm going to fill each one because this does make 12 cupcakes. You can easily double this recipe in case you need 24. And like I said, I'm going to pair this with a chocolate frosting. A chocolate frosting that's so good. You can find it on my website. Okay, amazing. So once we have all of that, I'm going to get a cookie scoop. I forgot it. And I am going to scoop my cupcakes around maybe 4 tablespoons or less. It's just a matter of fact, how many cupcakes do I make with 4 tablespoons each. And I like to get a cookie scoop because you can use a pair of spoons, but I really make a mess with that. So like I said, this is a 2 tablespoons, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to divide these cupcakes evenly. You don't want to overfill these cupcakes or they are going to overflow on the oven. So just try to be generous, not too generous. Okay, so once you have filled all of your cupcakes, we're going to bake these for 17 to 18 minutes. Okay, so my cupcakes are done. As you can see, they're light golden brown. They are really ready to go. And I'm going to do the toothpick test just to check they are. It should come out clean or with a few more scrubs. So now I'm going to let my cupcakes cool for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to let them cool completely.